Now in these scientific days, it seems to be the latest craze to make some great discovery with which to make a stir. Scientists each day will try to solve some problem in the sky.
Salutations, friends! So, I did some shopping. I've been seeing people posting like Halloween stuff popping up in stores, and I had to run into town to get some things, and I figured, I'll stop by Michael's and see what they have. And they didn't have too much Halloween stuff, but all of their summer florals and spring florals were 80% off, so I went a little crazy. I actually didn't end up spending that much, but I think the florals all together, and I got a ton of them. I got 2 garlands and one of those fancy wreaths that are like usually extremely expensive, and I think the total for all of it was like 40 bucks, which for this many flowers and a wreath, like the wreath alone, the original price was 50. So, but anyway, I thought I could do a cool little DIY with it all. This wall behind me that we put up is still very undecorated, and it's what I film in front of, and so I thought it'd be interesting to have a few like cascading flowers in the background, make it a little bit more lively than just a blank wooden background. And there's a fairly large gap at the top, and while I can't fill in that gap all the way due to my ceiling fan overlapping, I did want to add a little bit of oomph to the top of that, just to sort of get rid of the like harsh line that the top of the doors create. But I already started by putting a few nails at the top of this wall just to have something for the end product to hold on to, and I have cut all of the individual stems off of the big stem, so like I have already gone ahead and clipped them all off. I'm gonna end up having to cut them shorter, but I figured it'd be a lot easier to have them all individual so I could get a better idea of where I want them to go before I go ahead and cut them to the length that they need to be. Aside from a crap ton of flowers, you are going to need, it would help to have already made garlands, but I know those are expensive like regularly, so I also have this sort of wrapped wire that I'm going to thread through the garlands a couple of times over just to give a better base for the flowers to stick into and hold on to. And some wire cutters. I just have this multi-tool and just some basic floral wire. So, like the thin stuff, super easy to use, super easy to cut. This is what we're going to use to attach the flowers to the actual garland itself. And you can do it with any florals and foliage that you want. I'm personally planning on going back and getting a bunch more flowers once their fall stuff all goes on sale. They had some super cute, like vintagey, sort of muted tones, fall florals there that I definitely have my eye on, and I think it'd be cool to be able to switch this garland out for the different seasons, and it'll be good decorations to take with me when I move out of here eventually. So let's start making things, putting them together. This video's unscripted, can you tell? Alright, hello, it is voiceover Eveline here, because in video Eveline did not have a script, and when Eveline doesn't have a script, she gets extremely difficult to edit into coherent dialogue. So I'm gonna be the one to walk you through exactly what I did to make this thing. I started by laying out all of my flowers and foliage into different piles based on size, color, and what they were. A couple of tips that I have for doing something like this, where you're working with a bunch of different materials, is to 1. Have a color palette in mind when you're choosing your flowers, whether that be monotone, rainbow, cool colors, pastels, whatever you want. Having a color palette to rely on will keep you from grabbing things just because they're pretty, and it will make your final product look a lot more cohesive. Tip number 2 is to utilize different forms in the garland. Statement flowers are fun, but if there's nothing between them to help soften that empty space, they're going to look a little big and clunky throughout the garland. Using smaller flowers and greenery as fillers to help fill in the empty space will again make the final product look a little more cohesive. So I have all of the biggest flowers sorted out. I've got all my roses, my other roses, big daisies, these stunning little poppies that I happen to find, these orange ones. They remind me of the poppies that grow at my grandmother's house. I've got my garlands ready to go, and then I've got like my different foliage and little accent filler pieces all separated out. Alright, after I had everything laid out and I knew how long I needed the garland to be, I figured that out simply by measuring along the top of the wall where I was planning on placing it. I wrapped my 2 garlands together and then went around and wrapped that thicker brown natural looking wire around them just to give more surface area to attach the flowers as well as give the garland more structure. This is completely unnecessary, but it does help to keep the garland shape. Next, I took a break because Rufus was being a little too rowdy for me to feel comfortable using thin wire and tools around him, so I let him wear himself out and eventually he settled down for a nap. Give me it, give me it, give me it, give me it. Then I moved up to the table to get a better angle on what I was doing. I started with the end of the garland to get a good idea of what I wanted the rest of the garland to look like. I also wanted to elongate the end so that it would hang down over the wall and create a softer transition. So I started with some of these draping ferns and I attached them to the end by cutting a short length of floral wire and twisting it around the stem of the fern and the base of the garland with my pliers. Now, if you don't want to use the wire for whatever reasons, you can use hot glue. I just preferred the look of the wire. I feel like it is a lot easier to hide it amongst the foliage and it's a lot less messy. However, it is much more tedious of a task and it will take a lot longer than hot glue would. And not every flower will stay with just one piece of wire, so sometimes you have to double up and it just adds to the time and handwork that you have to do. Honestly, if I was better with a hot glue gun and it wasn't such a disaster of a time every time that I used one, I would probably use that method. Anyway, after I was happy with the way that the ferns and such were looking, I went in with a few larger statement flowers, like this rose, attaching them the exact same way as the fern. The wire method is how I attached every single piece to this garland. And finally, I added some smaller flowers, allowing them to also drape a little down the ferns, and then, of course, the filler. That's the end finished. Now we just have to do the same thing all the way down the length of the garland to the other end. I went about this working from largest to smallest, meaning I went through and added all of the big statement flowers that I wanted along the entire length, and then I went through and added some more bits to dangle down at random points along the garland, and then I went through and filled in all of those empty looking spaces with smaller flowers and filler. There's really no rhyme or reason to this all. I just put what felt right where it felt right and continually went through and moved and added things until I was happy. Whether that be adding tiny bits of greenery to stick out just to add a little bit more of a natural feel, or going through and taking away big statement flowers or adding big statement flowers in where there was a lot of empty space. It's just something that you have to work with until you get it to a point where you're happy with it. I finished the other end the same way as I did the first, with the dangling ferns and greenery and pansies and the statement flowers, and then I was finished and I hung it up. Alright, and this is how it looks. It looks awesome. Unfortunately, you cannot see it when I'm filming, but that's fine. I didn't really want it hanging too low because I didn't want Rufus to tear it down. He likes dangling, like, things. He likes to attack them, so I didn't really want him to be doing that to my nice little arrangement. But yeah, I really love how it came out and I'm super proud of it. I have a crap ton of flowers left. Like seriously, there's so many, like a whole big paper bag just overflowing with them. Like I definitely need to figure out some more things to make with them. I'm probably going to make, I've been wanting to make some vintage style like floral hair pieces, so that might be another video at some point. I am going to add some of them to this lovely wreath that I found. It's a perfect base, so I am going to be adding some flowers to this. I'm gonna do that just on my own time though. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to click that like button, and if you want to stick around and see me make more things and do more things and go on some adventures, and next week I'm putting my hair in Liberty spikes, so that's gonna be fun. I am extremely excited about it because I have always wanted them, and I'm gonna do it. I bought hairspray and everything. I'm getting ahead of myself. If you want to stick around, then feel free to subscribe. I upload every Thursday, and I would love to have you. And usually I have this written out in front of me, but I don't have a script today, so I'm trying. What do I say? Thank you for watching, and if you... that's not it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to wash your hands. I'll see you later. Goodbye. Yeah.
Crazy today.
Oh, you're
in
fine.
and out. The Rufus likes it.
He does.
Hi.
He loves having company.
Hi, buddy. So they took the cat. They had to take the cat to the emergency last night because it was having problems with his back legs.
Oh.
But he's back now at the shelter and he's resting. Hi, dear.
I'm gonna add a few things to this end.
I think that's good. And it matches your curtains.
Mm-hmm. Fun. You're just helping. As long as you don't eat anything. You can do whatever you want. Are you having fun over there? Oh, you're so cute. Hold on. No, don't eat those. Here, come over here. Play with these. These ones can't hurt you. No, 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 no. Anyway. Oh, my camera's dying. Damn it. Dang it. I knew this was gonna happen. It happens every time.